Hey there, so you're thinking about making a move to Utah and you've heard Utah is one of the best places to live. Well, today we're going to kind of break it down and chat more about whether or not Utah would be a good fit for you. Hey there, Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in the state of Utah, and this channel is all about moving to Utah, relocating to Utah, buying, selling, and even building a property here in Utah. If that's of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you're notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to relocate, who are looking to move, and we absolutely love it. If you are thinking about doing that, please feel free to shoot us a text, send us a message, or even send us an email, and we would love to connect with you. So maybe you've heard that Utah is a wonderful place to live and a great state to really just enjoy. So today we're going to break it down and whether or not Utah is the right fit for you. First and foremost, a lot of people love moving to Utah simply because of the natural beauty. The natural beauty that is here in Utah is honestly gorgeous. From northern Utah to southern Utah to everything in between, people come from all over the world to really enjoy Utah. And one of the biggest things people love about Utah are the 5 mighty national parks. Yes, those 5 incredible national parks that are all located in southern Utah. You've got Bryce Canyon, you've got Capitol Reef, you've got Arches, Zion, and Canyonlands. And honestly, my family and I have been to most of them multiple times, and every single time we go, oh my gosh, this is so incredible. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, I love this, And so there's just a lot of different factors of enjoying the natural beauty that Utah has to offer, and simply those national parks are unbelievable. And if you haven't been, I think that would be something you may want to put on your list. If you have been, let me know which one's your favorite, because I always want to revisit ones that people love. And I know for us, Arches National Park is definitely a favorite, especially with my kids. They're always like, oh, can we go back to Arches? It really is incredible. So number one, the natural beauty and those national parks are unbelievable. Number two, the weather. Now, the weather between northern Utah and southern Utah is very, very different. You'll notice even the landscape is different. Southern Utah, you've got the beautiful red rocks, you've got a lot of plateaus, you've got more of that desert sort of climate. If you are more up in the Salt Lake area and more north of that, you're going to see beautiful mountain landscapes. In the wintertime, obviously, you've got world-class skiing and world-class snow that is all around. Home of the 2034 Olympics as well. And I know people are already starting to chatter about the 24 Olympics, even though it is a ways away, but people are excited about it. And in fact, at the Salt Lake International Airport, they already have it written on the sign there of home of the 2034 Olympics in Salt Lake City. So that is pretty awesome. So the natural beauty, number one. And depending on, again, where you're at, the 4 seasons. The 4 seasons, even though southern Utah rarely gets snow down in St. George, yes, you'll get some in Cedar City, and yes, like out in Brian Head, great skiing out there too. So depends on where you're at, but the seasons and the weather, a lot of people love the weather in Utah. You're going to have more of a mild sort of climate as opposed to places in the Midwest. I know my mom is from Minnesota, and she's like, I will never do another Minnesota winter ever again. The below wind chill factor, you're really simply not going to see that very often here in Utah. Yes, Utah winters, especially up in northern Utah, will get cold. Obviously, it'll freeze and everything, but a lot of times you're not going to have those below wind chill sort of factors, right? January is going to be our coldest month, and then February is cold, but then moving into March and April, you're already starting to feel like spring, So that is a little bit about the weather. Another thing people really like about Utah is simply just the way of living. A lot of outdoor activities, a lot of like-minded people who enjoy being in nature, enjoy being outdoors, enjoy an active sort of lifestyle. And you find that in both northern and southern Utah all throughout. there are a lot of people that like time freedom too. They like, having their job, but they also like time to recreate. There are a lot of people that love recreating, whether it is outdoors, indoors. One of the things that I really like about Utah is that not only, during the colder months or the hotter months, there are a lot of indoor recreational facilities here, whether it's like a club pickleball or pickler, that you're going to have indoor pickleball courts. There are a lot of recreation centers that are going to have indoor swimming pools. They're going to have indoor tennis courts that are going to have indoor walking tracks. So weather ends up not being as much of a factor simply because of the different amenities and the facilities that Utah provides, which is really, really awesome. I know myself growing up in Northern California, it rained a lot. I mean, it rained a lot. And when it rained, a lot of things just got canceled. Or we played outdoors, but a lot of times the fields were too muddy or whatnot. And so a lot of things were canceled simply because of the weather. Here in Utah, a lot of things aren't canceled unless there's thunder and lightning and all of that. But otherwise, usually the show kind of just goes on, which a lot of people enjoy. Proximity to so many things, whether you're in northern or southern Utah, is really, really nice. You are, like I said, close to the national parks. You are close to shopping, recreation. You're close to the airports. If you're in northern Utah, you're, in the Salt Lake area, you are close to an international airport. If you are down in southern Utah and are close to St. George has a regional airport, but then you're about an hour and 45 minutes south to Las Vegas, which also has an international airport too. So lots in the way of getting, if you like to travel, there are a lot of different options with that. In terms of education, Utah is known for having a really good educational system. There are so many different higher education opportunities here in Utah as well. Whether you're at the universities, there are a ton of different universities in and around the Salt Lake area. You've got University of Utah, you've got Weber State, you've got community colleges, you've got outside of Salt Lake, you've got all the way up in Logan, Utah State, you've got Utah Valley University, you've got Brigham Young University. If you go down to southern Utah, you've got Southern Utah University. If you keep going down to St. George, you've got Utah Tech. I mean, and lots more colleges in and around that too. So in terms of higher education, a lot in the way of that. Utah is also known for being really, really family friendly. It's a very clean sort of state too. So you don't see a lot of trash and garbage and graffiti around. I know clients that have relocated here, they keep being like, Mariah, where's all the garbage? Where's all the trash? It's just a different feel from where I know some people that have reached out that are coming from. Also, Utah is a very dry climate. So some people love the dryness. Some people do not care for it as much, but there's not a lot of humidity. So because of that, there are some places that you'll find a lot of mold. Here in Utah, you don't find a lot of mold. You don't find a lot of that simply because it is so dry. So I've had people that, are getting ready to do like a home inspection and they're like, okay, well, we want to make sure we do the mold and this and that. And it's like, you're welcome to do all that. Typically, we don't see as much of that here simply because of the climate. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea if you are thinking about making a move, relocating here to the Beehive State. Some of these things are things to consider, just if you enjoy the outdoors, if you're, into recreation, the climate, the national parks, proximity to different airports, all of that plays a big factor for some people. And they're like, yep, sign me up. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Others, and again, I always say plan your trip because others come out and they go, it's too dry. I don't care for the weather. Whatever those things might be. So just know that going in. And again, if you are thinking about planning a scouting trip coming out here to Utah, my team and I hear from people like you all the time and we absolutely love it. So feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, day, night, weekend. We would love to connect with you. Wishing you a fantastic rest of your day and week. And also, if you do want a copy of our free Moving to Utah guide, simply comment down below the word guide, and we'd love to send that over to you. Take care and have a great one. Bye.